Welcome back to MidPoint. Consumer advocate, more than 30 years experience, nationally recognized expert on security, privacy, and identity theft. Adam Levin joins us once again. Adam, let's get down to identity theft here in the 21st century. It is not all about making sure that your computer is safe. We've heard so much of this in the last couple of weeks, major companies being hacked. But then again, as I looked around, the data breaches themselves are only a part of it, because you still have people targeting cars with out-of-state license plates. You still have unlocked mailboxes. We're still a very non-secure society, no matter how much we try and ballyhoo the fact that we're pretty good at what we do, aren't we?
No, we're very vulnerable when it comes to identity theft. That unfortunately, everywhere we turn, there is some form of vulnerability, and oftentimes it's based on moments of distraction, or when we're just sort of in the midst of something else, we press the wrong button, we hit the wrong key, we do things. But it's everywhere. They could be stealing your mail. They could be crawling through your garbage. They could be grabbing your wallet at the office when you leave your desk, if you put your wallet in your desk. They will be in public areas where you may be on your computer and you're using Wi-Fi, and you don't realize that there's somebody between you and the Wi-Fi system, having created a false entry point. So everywhere you go, whatever you do, wherever you do it, you're always at risk for some form of identity theft.
And isn't it fair to say that, and again, we led off by talking about voter fraud, which certainly is an instance, no matter how you look at it, there is always the possibility of that happening. But this is the kind of information that can be stolen. And this is the kind of material that if you are looking to, if someone is looking for voter fraud, this is exactly the material that they use and exactly the type of information that they target and they must have in order to make the fraud stick, correct?
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, look, in order to recreate a human being, you want as much information about them as possible, and unfortunately, we have a tendency to provide way too much information about ourselves, and institutions have a tendency to make way too much information available in an unredacted form about us. You know, a big problem, way beyond the issue of voter fraud, is tax-related identity theft, which is blossoming. They estimate over the next 5 years, it could cost the Internal Revenue Service over $21 billion. And this has become the crime of choice for organized crime, cartels, and other organizations, because now you don't have to do drug deals in the middle of the night and run the risk of being shot or being arrested. You could sit in your pajamas in the living room of a motel and be entering information into various tax returns and then filing them before the consumers get a chance to file it.
Adam, we in the United States, we always think we're so far ahead of the curve in so many ways. But you pointed this out recently in an article, that we do not have strong data security laws in this country at the federal level. What is it going to take in order for us to actually get there, to convince whomever's in charge at that upper level of government that this is a necessity? This is something you can't wait, and it won't go away on its own.
No, this is not going away. You need strong data security laws. I mean, and look to some of the states for models. Florida has a strong law. Massachusetts has one of the strongest data security laws. Our problem is that by the time the issue gets to Washington, and by the time the lobbyists get done with it and the various stakeholders get done with it, whatever comes out is a watered-down mess. That's why the president has been trying to accomplish some of this stuff through executive order, but it's not enough. And this is going to require a national collaborative effort between consumers, businesses, government, media, in order to all jump on this together, because this is a national security issue. I mean, if you look at different surveys, do you know that there was a survey released recently that said more Americans are concerned about becoming victims of identity theft than they are concerned about getting shot?
Okay, then who in Washington, D.C. is doing something about it? Nobody in Washington doing anything about it, though, are they?
No, the problem is there have been many attempts. There have been from relatively weaker attempts, which is Senator Feinstein, to much stronger attempts, which the senator from Connecticut, Senator Blumenthal. There were a number of conservative Republicans that have tried, but they can't seem to get together when it comes to how much data sharing there's going to be between government and business because of some privacy concerns and some government concerns. And the issue, we're way beyond talk at this point. We have got to get something done. We are vulnerable. People think chip and pin may be the way in retail. There have been a number of articles, Brian Krebs having written one of them.
And unfortunately, we are all out
found a way around that too.
We're all out of time for Talk Now, unfortunately, Adam. We'll do it again another time. Thanks so much for your time.